Exceeds any expectation or any dream I could have ever had about a hospital. First was getting David here to save his life. But then I was told we wouldn't get a bill. I didn't quite process that. How's this possible? It's possible through all the wonderful people who donate.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine.
The research here is research that we share with everyone else because overall, we want to help all children that have cancer. What makes that possible is people that give to St. Jude. They really help us to fulfill our mission, and we're so grateful to have them on our team.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Well, what time is it?
Secret junk food time.
Junk food.
Look at all the junk food.
Ooh, is that what they're serving for breakfast?
Bring junk food.
I don't eat junk food.
It's National Junk Food Day.
Have you ever considered not eating that for breakfast?
No junk food. I'll never eat junk food again. I swear.
Happy National Junk Food Day.
Let's start the show.
Wake up! All righty. Good morning, Doc Bryce.
Well, good morning.
Dr. Jera, are you online?
Good morning.
All right, let's see here. We're going to kill that music feed going back to Dr. Jera. That way she can hear what's going on our end. All right, let's see what's going on. It's time for the Round Table Thursday edition. We're brought to you each and every weekday morning by our buddies out at SAU Tech. Tech is accepting applications for the position of maintenance assistants. It's a 12-month position with full benefits. Minimum qualifications are the formal education equivalent of a high school diploma and 1 year of related work experience. For detailed job descriptions and application, go to their website at sautech.edu. We are also brought to you by our buddies out at the Flaming Pig Barbecue. Flaming Pig, always there when you need them. And if you don't know when you need them, well, call them up, 870-818-5984. We are brought to you by our friends out at St. John's Place, 1400 Highway 79, 167 Bypass in Fordyce, and Watchtower Nursing and Rehab, 1411 Country Club Road, right here in Camden. Visit them online, stjohnsplaceofarkansas.com, and Watchtower Nursing and Rehab at watchtowernursing.com. First Choice Family Care, choosing the right doctor for you and your family can be stressful. Head over to Dr. Jera's website, myfirstchoicecare.com. Get you a new patient packet. Call them up. They take the stress completely out of this. And I'm here to tell you, if you're overly stressed, I'm sure she can help you out. 870-800-9002. OCMC's Chemical Dependency Unit, reminding you that addiction's a tough thing to get through. If you need professional help, we don't care where you get the help, just get the help you need. If you need professional help, these guys are there for you. 870-836-1289, 1-800-232-1289. Remember, all calls are confidential. We're brought to you by Mitch Lowe's Body Shop, auto body and collision repair, framework, glasswork, and refinishing. All accidents, large or small, Mitch Lowe's can handle it all. If you get put in the ditch, just call Mitch, 837-2560. We are brought to you by Stories Floor and Carpet. You can see pictures of some of their work on Facebook. They sell cleaning products for your flooring, and they've got a variety of flooring in stock if you need it in a hurry. Financing's available at Stories Floor and Carpet with your good credit, 870-862-9446. And finally, by Everybody's Antiques down in El Dorado. You're going to find a bunch of them. Antiques, gifts, collectibles, knickknacks, sports memorabilia, new tires, trailers, and storage buildings. They buy, they sell. They've got 120 booths and 31,000 square feet to explore. Shop them online at everybodysantiques.com or call 870-875-1444. All right, let's see. Dr. Smith, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. So you can hear me and I can hear you, and that means that everybody else can hear us.
Huh?
Good morning.
What? Yeah.
Can she hear me?
Yes.
Oh, she can hear me.
Well, I must have pushed the right buttons. All right, so, it is Thursday. Heat advisories in effect all the way across the board. Dr. Smith, you want to elaborate on some heat illness signs?
Yeah. We've talked about that, I think, a couple weeks ago now, but if you're outside, especially just knowing if you're at risk, if you're carrying extra weight, if you're not used to being outside, if you're doing more strenuous activity than you usually do outside, if you're older, all of those things, and certain medications like some blood pressure medicines make you pee more, diuretics, and those fluid pills can make you more likely to dehydrate. Your body loses more fluid when you're out and super hot. And so just knowing if you're at risk, and in that way, you're going to be a little bit more careful as to watching yourself. And if you start feeling dizzy, lightheaded, and you know you've been out in the heat longer than you expected, just get to a cool, shadier spot, get you a big glass of water, and just see if it passes.
All right, and as always, check on your friends and neighbors.
Yes, especially if you have older friends and neighbors.
Our furry friends as well, they're just as affected by the heat as everybody else. That heat advisory is for temperatures in excess of 110 degrees today with the heat index value. So you guys stay safe out there. All right, Dr. Smith, hang out. We're going to go ahead and take this break right quick and get through it, and then we will get right to some of everybody's questions. All right, you got time?
Perfect.
All right,
yeah.
You guys hang out. We'll be back.
It's time to check the Radio Works South Arkansas Community Bulletin Board.
Get your tickets now. The St. Louis Catholic Church is raffling off a Henry Golden Boy 44 Magnum to raise money for a new church floor. Tickets are a $10 donation or $40 for 5. Tickets available at the church office, Elliott Alignment, and Banks Pond. Drawing planned for the end of September. Feel free to call the pastor, Father Mike Johns, at 870-219-0149 for more information.
Local sports update.
Hello, sports fans, with a look at local games and scores. I'm Kelly Blair. Well, as Charles Dickens might say, it was the best of times and the worst of times for the Arkansas Pulpwood 15 and under baseball team, who traveled down to Sterlington, Louisiana on Wednesday to compete in the Dixie Major World Series. The select team, based out of the Recreational Center of Watchtower County, won its first game of the tournament in grand fashion, downing Oslo, North Carolina 15-0. Camden actually scored 13 runs in the bottom half of the first inning to take control of the contest early, but Pulpwood was then defeated handedly by Southland, Louisiana in its late game by the score of 17-1. Camden is now scheduled to play Huffman, Texas today at noon and really needs a victory in order to advance out of the pool play to the 8-team bracket play to determine a champion. Fans who aren't able to make the trip down to Sterlington can watch the games on lspn.live, which is a Facebook page for the Sterlington Sports Complex. The Pulpwood 17 and under team won't be in action until tomorrow when they travel to neighboring Monroe, Louisiana for their Dixie Major World Series. That event has 12 teams set up in double elimination bracket play and will see Camden take on Hudson, Texas for its first game on Saturday at 9 a.m. The Pulpwood 19s will also be in action this weekend, traveling to Nashville, Tennessee to play in their World Series. They too will be in a 12-team double elimination bracket and will get started on Saturday against the host team, Flyer Baseball, at 6 p.m. on Friday. That tourney also has viewing options available on Jock Live Sports, but it is subscription-based. That'll wrap it up for now with your sports update. I'm Kelly Blair. I'm the best there is at what I do, and what I do is sports.
Good Thursday morning, everybody. We are looking at a 30% chance it showers this afternoon. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly sunny and hot with temperatures near 98. Heat index values again as high as 110. Tonight, 20% chance it rain, mostly cloudy. Overnight low near 75. For Friday, slight chance it showers, mostly sunny and temperatures near 96. Then on Friday night, clear skies and 74. Out of the Radio Works Weather Center, I'm JJ. Good morning, South Arkansas. It's time for the Watchtower River Report for Thursday, July 21st. Starting out with the river in Camden. The current gauge reading is 8.58 feet. In Arkadelphia, they're currently at 7.16 feet. At Thatcher Lock and Dam, the current gauge reading is 77.57 feet. And at Morro Bay State Park, the gauge reading is 65.5 feet. Excessive heat warnings in effect again today from 1 until 8 p.m. Expect dangerously hot conditions with heat index values in excess of 110 degrees. This means that from 1 p.m. this afternoon to 8 p.m. this evening, extreme heat and humidity will significantly increase the potential for heat-related illnesses, particularly for those working or participating in outdoor activities. Reliability of this forecast is based on current and forecasted river and weather conditions from the National Weather Service in Little Rock. You guys have a great day and be safe. All right, we are back on the round table. Welcome to the phone studios, Dr. Smith. Wow, Doc, you're Doc Bryce.
Yeah,
you're pretty good at this, man. I mean, you know, I've got to give you your props.
Good at what?
Making sure that I can do all of the things that I do, and it goes seamless.
Oh, this is Dallas radio days, baby.
Right, you know. I mean, so here's the thing out there, boys and girls. Dr. Smith could not make it into the office today. We've got her Skyped in, and
no, we don't.
Well, we did. Okay. I'm sure she'll be right back. Anyhow, do I need to call her back?
You can call her back, but you might want to turn her pot off.
Oh.
So that way,
I can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Until she's ready.
Yeah. So, when we get her back on the line, if you've got a phone, a question that you want for Dr. Smith, you can always call her or call us up, 836-9559. That is the DJ line, 836-9559.
See, this way we could keep the phone line open, and we have her on Skype. And then that way, because if we had her calling on the phone, then nobody could call in and ask a question.
Right.
Because she's tying up the phone line.
Exactly.
It's like, will you kids get off the phone?
So, you know, I mean, modern technology being what it is. All right, do we have you back, Dr. Smith?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
I thought you hung up on me. I thought you didn't like me anymore.
That was Doc Bryce.
I'm in a different room.
I didn't do it, okay? You know, I promise you. I wasn't pushing any buttons over here.
The sun moved. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, heat index values.
I was sitting here testing my internet speed, and I was like, what happened?
Don't ask it to do anything more. All right. So we did have some listener questions that came in. Let's see. You ready to get started on these?
I'm ready.
All right, so we're going to start with this one, and it's kind of a weird question. I don't really understand the question, so I'm going to read it the way it was sent to me. Are there any pandemic-related problems that we should be concerned about that don't have anything to do with COVID? I'm assuming this would be a byproduct of being on lockdown for an extended period of time. Is there something else that now that we're finally getting out and about?
I don't think that there's any real health things related to being on the lockdown. I do think that there is an increase in suicide and depression. People, I think that some people were struggling with access to mental health services to begin with, and then now the pandemic was a real emotional toll for a lot of people. Concerns about the economy and a lot of concerns. And so I do think that there has been an uptick in that. And then that also affects doctors, nurses, your healthcare professionals as well. There's been a lot of burnout as far as health professionals.
Okay.
It led to new vaccine types, so that was awesome. There's been more telemedicine, so now I actually can do telehealth visits when my patient can't come in and it's appropriate. We can do a phone visit, and insurances are actually covering those now.
All right. So, is there anything that we should be doing differently now that we're getting back out into the world again? Like exercise, diet?
Well, nothing that we shouldn't have been doing before, but I would say that we do still have to be aware that COVID is still an issue. A lot of people are still, there's been an uptick in cases. So I would say that I want people to live their life, but try to live it cautiously. We're all trying to find this balance between living and trying to stay safe.
Right. So any tips on staying safe with the new strain? Are we seeing any of that new strain here in South Arkansas?
I can't speak to that as of yet. I'm not sure that we have that information, but I have seen the increase in cases, and so I suspect that that is something new that we don't have immunity to, and that's why we're seeing that increase in cases. So just if you run a fever, stay home until you're more than 24 hours without a fever. If you or your child has a fever, and you should see a doctor or at least do a home test, but you should be tested for COVID. So if you see your doctor for a fever and they don't test you for COVID, you should ask for it. Because if you're out and giving it around, then that's going to obviously not help us in trying to keep the numbers down.
So on these home test kits, are they as accurate as the one you would go and see your doctor for?
So they're rapid tests. The rapid tests at the doctor's office or at home, they're all about the same. There are what's called PCR tests, and those aren't as quick and they're more expensive, and they are better tests. But if you have a positive home test, a positive is positive. A negative may not be a negative. You have symptoms and you take a home test and it's positive, you have COVID, I don't need to test you again. But if you have symptoms and you take a home test and it was negative, then we do need to test again.
Go ahead and err on the side of caution.
It's just that you're getting more what's called false negatives with the home test than false positives.
Okay. All right.
A positive is reliable, a negative is not reliable.
But a positive definitely means positive.
Positive means positive. And if you have any kind of risk factors, then you should be treated for it.
Okay. All right. So our next question is, can I manage my high blood pressure without taking any pills or medications?
There are things that you can do to help your high blood pressure. It all depends on the individual person. I will say I've known very healthy people that are professional athletes that still have to take blood pressure medicine. So no matter how good you are, you may still yet need medication. I know that everybody would like to be off of medication, and I wish that there was something I could do if I had a magic wand. But the fact is that sometimes you eat right and you exercise and you avoid salt and you still have high blood pressure. Now, what I will say is that if you are still one of those people, if you did not take care of yourself, your blood pressure would be worse. Some people just have the genetics for high blood pressure. But by eating right, low salt, trying to get lots of fruits and vegetables in, trying to reduce fatty things, trying to eat a little bit more fish, eat vegetarian once or twice a week, trying to eat healthy and then exercise. And for blood pressure, that's the kind of exercise that gets your heart rate up, like running or swimming.
Walking around the block in 110-degree weather.
Let's not do that.
That'll get your blood pressure up.
There's an inside thing that you can do that'll get your heart rate up with nothing at all, and it's actually good for balance too. If you have stairs in your home, walking up and down stairs will get your heart rate up in a hurry. And if you don't have stairs in your home, you can get something sturdy like a step stool and put it near something you can hold on to and just step up and down off that stool, and I guarantee you can get your heart rate up. And you don't have to leave the air conditioning.
Now, we had talked last time about, maintaining good balance as you get older, right?
Yes.
So
that's
go ahead.
very important.
Yes, it's very important. So, are there any other tips? Because you had said something about, touching your butt to a chair and standing back up last time. Is there any other things that we can do?
So that's, one of the best things, there's a study that shows that a reliable predictor for longevity, so people that live longer, healthier lives, is people that can sit on the floor and stand up without using their arms. Those people live longer. And I think there's something more than just being able to do that. I think that's kind of random. I think it's about having the muscles in your back and legs to do that act. It's not so much that they can do that. It's more about having that muscle system and the balance to do that. Right?
Okay.
And so if we can take steps toward improving those muscles, and one of those things is going to be being able to do a squat. So being able to squat down to the ground and stand back up takes a lot of muscle. And if you can't do it, there's an uneven thing. Your balance may be off. You might have poor flexibility. But most of the time, the thing that contributes the most is a lack of strength to do it.
All right.
That's the same reason that as people age, they tend to use like the arm rest on the armchair to get out of the chair. It means that you're starting to lack the muscles in your upper legs and your lower back and your butt to have that movement.
Okay. So can we combine maybe the steps and balance exercises to keep the heart rate up?
Yeah, so if you have a step stool, and you can go get fancy ones at the store that are for exercise, and at first, when you're first getting used to it, you probably want to do it near something that you could hold on to if you stumbled. But as you got better, stronger, and your balance got better, you're going to find that you feel very comfortable stepping up and down. And once you're used to the one, if you used a cement block at home, or a few of them in a row, you could go get the fancy one at some point, but they actually can build up to where you can make it taller once the short one gets easier. And then the squat, you pick yourself a nice tall chair and you put it against a strong wall. That way, if you fell into that chair, it wouldn't fall over or crunch or hurt yourself, right? So, okay. And you stand in front of that chair and you just squat down and just barely touch your butt to the chair and stand up. If you're not able to do that, find a taller chair.
Okay.
And then slowly work your way down.
So the goal would be to be squatting down as low as you possibly can and standing right back up.
Right. And what you'll find is a lot of people don't feel like they have the flexibility to take a full squat, and that may be true. But what I find is that once you're losing flexibility too, you lose that strength. And you can't do a movement that you don't have the muscles to do.
Right. So if you don't use those muscles, then they just kind of wither away, right?
Yes. And we lose muscle mass over time. If you are not exercising and trying to keep your muscle mass strong, everyone is losing muscle mass.
So do we need to all go out and start lifting weights?
Maybe. I would not disagree. But it's not a good thing all by itself. And most of the time, there's whole body movements that is enough to reverse the losses that you would have. So I don't think you necessarily need to be a weightlifter, but there's whole body exercises that you can do that would keep your muscles strong. Just like a push-up is an exercise that you only use your own body to do, right? And there's different modifications to work up to a whole push-up. But there's a lot of different whole body exercises like that you can do just on the floor with nothing else at home at your body weight that can be very difficult to do.
All right. Now, our next question kind of, in my opinion, kind of goes with it. Do you have any tips for managing my weight, quality of diet? Now, with your blood pressure, exercise, balance, and everything else, isn't diet kind of, part of it?
When you're talking about weight loss, I would say that what you eat is probably 95% of weight loss. You can exercise, and that's great, and it will help you over time, but it won't help you right this minute. It helps increase your overall metabolic rate. So you burn more calories in the day-to-day, the more muscle mass, the more active you are. But it doesn't necessarily, it's not good to try to take that into, okay, I'm exercising to lose weight, because if you aren't changing how you're eating and you're only exercising, especially if you're weightlifting, you may actually gain weight. It's not going to be bad weight, but I mean, if you weigh 200 pounds and you can't walk to the bathroom, that's a bad sign. But if you weigh 200 pounds and you can run 5 miles, then, I mean, you may still weigh 200 pounds, but your overall health is much better. So sometimes weight isn't a great, so if you only want to exercise, it's still worth it, but it's not going to help you lose weight by itself.
Okay. And, is there any specific diets that we should think about as we get older?
There's a whole lot that'll tell you a lot of things. And what I suspect as we learn more and more is that we need to have a varied diet. Because if you think about it, we as humans, evolutionarily, we were hunter-gatherers. We would walk through the forest, eat what we could. If we killed something, we'd eat it, but we wouldn't kill something every day. You might not even see an animal every day, right? But so sometimes we would be full vegetarian. Sometimes we would eat meat, and none of these times would we find a tree that had bread on it. So trying to decrease those processed carbs is super important. I think that where our bodies are not meant to handle those types of carbs. Trying to increase the fruits and vegetables in your diet, and trying to increase the diversity, so you get the reds and the yellows and the greens and the purples and the blues, and you're going to eat a whole lot more fruits and vegetables that way. And then try to vary your protein source. If we were out wandering and you came across beans, you'd be eating beans, right? Like you try to vary your protein source, nuts, cheese. There's a lot of different vegetarian protein sources that aren't soy-based. Tofu is still a great protein source, but it is soy-based, and some people do have a problem with that. I wouldn't recommend it all day, every day, but occasionally is still good. Having an occasional vegetarian meal, like once a week, like a meatless Monday, and then trying to eat fish a couple times a week, trying to vary that protein source, and then understand you need about 2 handfuls of protein a day. So if you're thinking about how much protein you need in your diet, think about having a handful of whatever protein you're eating. We eat a whole lot more protein than most of us need. Bodybuilders need a lot of protein. The average American does not need as much protein as they eat.
Well, now, it's National Junk Food Day, Dr. Smith, and it sounds like you're hating on my cheeseburger.
Well, I don't think cheeseburgers are necessarily bad. When I tell people that are wanting to change their habits, I think that's what's most important. If you jump on some fad diet, you may lose weight really quick, and the second you stop.
All right, I lost you. Are you still there?
Wow. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost you for a second there. Can you repeat that?
So I don't like fad diets. I don't like diets. What I like is addressing habits and slowly building toward healthier habits. So if you eat a cheeseburger every day from McDonald's at lunch, then instead of a large French fry, get a small. That was a healthy step. You're eating less processed carbs. Good for you. One step. What's one step you can take with this meal? What's one step you can take with this day? Because knowing everything you should do doesn't make it possible for you to do it. And some days those steps will be really big, and you're going to eat the salad for lunch.
Right, and then then there's those other days where you have like 3 cheeseburgers all at once. All right, let's see. We're waiting on a reconnect for Dr. Smith. That's about the only thing, Doc Bryce, that are you back, Dr. Smith?
Yeah, what was going? I'm struggling with the internet up here.
I think it's bandwidth, but
tell her to stop moving. Just hold that position. Just stand like that. Don't move.
1 foot up and your left arm out.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you remember how you did it when you were a kid. Oh, she's young. She doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't remember having to go uphill through through
5
that
feet
shag
of snow.
No, 5 feet of shag carpet.
Oh, that was even worse, man.
Yeah. And then having to move the aluminum around on the antenna.
To download, and then somebody picked up the phone, and you're like, "No, get off the phone!"
Yeah, kids today will never know our pain.
That old AOL sound.
That's what we call the old analog handshake.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I don't know where you heard me on the diet, on the like healthy lifestyle type.
All I got was Dr. Smith hates cheeseburgers. So, you know, what
so,
about?
I do not hate cheeseburgers.
We left off on making healthy choices, like instead of getting the large fry, get the small fry.
Well, the biggest thing is changing your habits. If you're 40 years old and overweight and you want to make health changes, trying to be suddenly someone that you're not, you've built these habits over the last at least 30 years, right? You're not going to be somebody new tomorrow, but you can be somebody who's open to change tomorrow. And what that means is that instead of take the step that you can take in general, trying to eat a more varied protein source, occasionally vegetarian, trying to reduce the overall simple carbs. But human beings still need carbs, so I don't like no carb diet. We just need healthier carbs and normal amounts of them. Trying to increase your exercise. So knowing all these things that are healthy choices, right? And then you stop before you put food in your mouth or plan a meal or stop somewhere at fast food and say, how can I take one step right now? Right?
Absolutely.
And that step is going to look different for every single person, and it may look different today than tomorrow. But ask how you're going to change it now. So if you eat a cheeseburger every day from McDonald's at lunch, that's just fine. I got the small instead of the large fry. I took a step.
What about
I got
diet
the small
soft
Coke
drinks?
instead of large Coke. I took a step.
Ooh, yeah, switch that Coke to water.
That's another step. Some people aren't ready for that step yet, and that's okay. Like, taking the step you can. Because this mentality, I don't know if y'all were raised like this, but I was raised like this, that if you can't do something right, don't do it at all. Right?
Yeah, that was one of them grandparent teachings.
Uh-huh.
But the problem with that is that you don't want to start anything because you're afraid you won't do it right. And so why try? But what I would encourage you to think about when you're trying to make healthy changes is accept yourself for who you are, where you're at. Love that person and make one step.
And doggone it, people like me.
Well, just finding value in yourself no matter what. No matter what your weight is, no matter what you do, is like you are a valuable human. And so being loving towards yourself is a huge thing for people to work on.
Oh, well,
like
we've got
you
that.
talk meaner about yourself than anyone else.
Well, we've got that down pat. I promise you, nobody loves us more than we do, right, Doc Bryce?
Perfect. Good. Go teach other people. Stop the negative inner voices, and that's a healthy step. It may not look like anything on the outside. It may not change the scale, but stopping talking to yourself negatively can really positively impact your whole life.
All right.
You cannot change if you are mean to yourself. If you live with a bully in your head, get rid of the bully.
So it's okay to bully other people, just not myself.
Yes. No.
All right, we got one more question I want to get to. That way we get them all in. How can I know I have arthritis and it's not just normal aches and pains?
Well, most people get arthritis as they age, regular osteoarthritis. There are certain joints that it's more common for it to start in, like at the base of the thumb and right in where the clavicle or the collarbone meets the shoulder. That's a very common place to get arthritis. But most of us get arthritis, and arthritis is just aches and pains. It tends to not be severe pain.
I lost her again.
She's breathing. She's taking a break.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you never know if it's normal aches or pains or if it's arthritis. But when Dr. Smith gets back, I'll be sure and ask her if there's something that I can be tested for. You know, they gave me a blood test way back when to tell me if I had arthritis. So let's wrong one. Are you back?
Hey.
Yeah. Hi. So I was saying.
What's going on?
I was saying that they gave me a blood test at one time to tell whether or not I had arthritis. Is that normal?
There are different kinds of arthritis, and not all arthritis can be tested for by blood tests. The most common kind, the age-related arthritis, is called osteoarthritis. And osteoarthritis is not testable by blood tests. It's kind of a diagnosis of exclusion, where you check for all the other kinds, and if you don't have those kinds, then it's probably osteoarthritis.
Okay, so you know what? We it's important for those wellness visits, right?
Yes, so I always recommend people to have their wellness visit once a year, but if you're having symptoms more persistent, then don't wait for that wellness checkup. Like, go and see your doctor about them, and they may say, hey, you have arthritis, just regular age-related, and then you know that you want to try to keep up a good exercise routine, try your hardest to eat healthy, try to eat good, healthy fish. It's really good for the joint, not fried fish. But your step, whatever step you're on, if it's fried fish, then at least you ate fish.
This is the South, Dr. Smith, okay? You know, there's nothing better than fried catfish, right?
I just got an air fryer for my birthday, and man, I've been enjoying that a whole lot. It makes a very crispy air fried thing without all the oil.
All right, so yeah, I mean, your saturated fats, you want to get rid of those anywhere you can, right?
Right, and just in general, trying to choose healthier fat. So an avocado has a whole lot of fat in it, but it's a plant-based fat, and so that's going to be a healthier option.
Okay, so like go and get you an Impossible Whopper instead of a regular Whopper, right?
I don't know what that means.
The veggie burger.
I'm glad I don't.
The veggie burger from Burger King. All right, Dr. Smith, thank you so much for Skyping in with us today.
Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't see you today.
Oh, that's all right. We'll have you back in here probably next week, right?
Hey, but this is a good example. If you have a fever, stay home.
Absolutely. Be sure you get yourself checked and rechecked, and you don't want to start spread, so help stop the spread, right?
Yes.
All right. Oh, there was one more thing that I wanted to ask you. They've opened the pool, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what should we do to maintain our safety level if we decide to go to the pool here in Camden?
Well, in general, I would avoid situations that get you in densely populated areas. So if you can't stay reasonably, distance from other people and shared surfaces, I would try to avoid that activity. But being outside in the direct sunlight, that's going to be a lot of antiviral power there. Viruses don't survive very long in direct sunlight. And so I think you've got to find that balance, and we're all finding that balance, and I can't tell you any better than anyone else, but you've got to try to keep safe, but also still try to live a healthy life, because you need that interaction, you need the outside time, you need the playtime with your kids. They need the memories. So just try to find.
All right. Yes. Try to find that healthy balance between being safe and, maintaining everything else. All right, Doc Bryce, you got anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Did I leave again?
Yes, but that's okay. I finished your sentence. You're brilliant. Okay. So there you go. Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Well, this was fun, and this was a new experience.
Yes, it was. We're going to get even better at it because, well, hey, you got to do what you got to do in the new age, right?
I prefer to be in the studio.
It's a whole lot easier for me to do these interviews when you're in the studio, too. So we look forward to getting you back in here. All right. Thanks, Dr. Smith.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, it's the Roundtable, boys and girls, brought to you each and every weekday morning by our buddies out at First Choice Family Care. That's Dr. Smith and staff. They are always there to help you when you need them. Get you a new patient packet at myfirstchoicecare.com and then call them up, 870-800-9002. OCMC's Chemical Dependency Unit, reminding you that it's not all up to you, man. You don't have to do it alone. Addiction's a tough thing to get past. Get the help you need. If you need professional help, these guys are definitely there to help. So 870-836-1289. All calls are confidential, or 1-800-232-1289. Again, all calls are confidential. Mitch Lowe's Body Shop. If you find yourself in the ditch, just call Mitch, 837-2560. St. John's Place in Watchtower Nursing and Rehab. Call them up, 836-4111. That'll get you Watchtower Nursing and Rehab. And 352-2104 for St. John's Place. SAU Tech, they're accepting applications for the position of maintenance assistants. It's a 12-month position with full benefits. Minimum qualifications are the formal education equivalent of a high school diploma and 1 year of related work experience. For detailed job description and application, go to their website, sautech.edu. We are brought to you by our friends out at the Flaming Pig Barbecue. Flaming Pig Barbecue, available for catering. Call them up, 870-818-5984. Stories Floor and Carpet. They've got a variety of flooring in stock if you need it in a hurry. Stories Floor and Carpet, 2004 Lorraine and El Dorado, 870-862-9446. And by Everybody's Antiques in El Dorado. Shop them online, everybody'santiques.com, or give them a call, 870-875-1444. Doc Bryce, what you got?
Well, I got Glenn Beck about to start here in just a little bit.
All right. Well, we're going to get through this top of the hour stuff over here. And, yeah, you guys stay safe, stay cool. Remember, it's going to be hot out there. Currently 87 degrees, but it's going to warm up exponentially. All right. We're getting through this top of the hour stuff. Hang out. We'll be back.
Your name here. News Talk 92 KBEU Bearden. News Talk. For South Arkansas, News Talk 92 KBEU. Hello, South Arkansas. I'm Doc Bryce. Let's talk news. Watchtower County Quorum Court held the Cooper's Law Subcommittee meeting Tuesday night to discuss the further details